but master this rap shit. You hear the words coming from my lips, bastards. I never crack, I got that chapstick. I practice till that shit made perfect and served it to the people on a silver platter. Now where's the ladder? Cause either you gon' whine or you climb, I chose the ladder. Know you haters is pissed, hold your bladder though. Before you get tossed like a forward lateral. We never tattle, let God handle that. Or let the mob handle that. No soprano, half black, half white. I'm a piano, I'm an animal. My video on Discovery Channel, I'm a beast. When my shit hit the streets, these niggas cease to exist. Like a beach in a tsunami, you'll find me in the Ville, in the state of NC. Bitch, if I ain't back home, I'm up in NYC. About that money probably, like a fucking robbery, but I ain't jacking. I'm chasing dreams, sorta like jeans, boy, I ain't slacking. I'm chasing dreams, sorta like jeans, boy, I ain't slacking. Hey, take a hard look at my drive, nigga, no hacking on my shit. I straight smacking niggas, straight tagging niggas. Y'all freestyling, fuck y'all niggas, y'all be wildin' and I'm out.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to our Saturday morning edition of the Walking This Way's Impact Wars podcast. I'm your host, Furman Jackson Jr., and we're currently broadcast from Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. So we thank everybody for tuning in. Also, I'm very excited, very honored, very privileged to take it back to year 2010 when I had this individual with me who gave me the opportunity of doing talk radio, because previously I was on Blog Talk. gave me opportunity to be on that platform. What was Operation Cloud TV? I'm correct. I'm that correct. And we invented the Fight Club radio show. Fight Club radio show is what Walking's Ways was. We have interviews, we have topics of discussion. Everything was kingdom based, of course, on this show. And of course, my co-host Nancy. Nancy's been a long time since we had done this, but we're back in the fold, and I'm very excited, honored to have you back here. I know you've been doing a lot of great things in Miami. I know when you had fit into your schedule for us to run this thing back again. So how have you been? What's been going on with you? And thank you
Good,
for being
good.
on here.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Oh, I thank you.
Just it's exciting to have you us partner back up and continue to do what we do.
Right. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's all about. It's all about bringing the good news. It's all about bringing things that's kingdom based, of course. You know,
Yep.
having extraordinary people doing extraordinary things in their city, in their community, living their, utilizing their God given talents to be a blessing to others, but also make an impact in the kingdom as well. And it's always a privilege, Nancy, to have people of all walks of life who came from different backgrounds share their story and living an awesome life and knowing what God is doing in their lives. That's what it's all about. That's what we started this thing for. So we're excited. This is our Saturday morning edition, of course. We have a guest that's coming on this morning. I'm waiting on him to come in. Moses King Taylor, he go by screenwriter Moses. So we're waiting for him to come in. Other than that, man, I'm good. Got out work this morning. Took me a little nap before we got on the show this morning because I didn't want to be tired. So I'm good for the
Yeah.
energy. And I'm just excited. I'm just really excited about fulfilling this obligation where we started. Like I said, go ahead, Nancy. Go ahead and introduce yourself to the people for the very first time here on Walking This Way Impact Voice Podcast.
Well, mother, um, evangelist, prophet, just walking this thing out and letting God lead the way.
That sums it up right there. So, like I said, man, we're very excited to be with y'all. This morning. You know what? I had a conversation, Nancy, with somebody at work. We see a lot of weird stuff
Yeah.
in our world. We see a lot of weird stuff in our community. Like I said, I'm 42. I'll be 43 next year. But just to see where when we started this in 2010, we had stuff out there, but it's like since
It's not
2020.
as advanced as now because since we're living in the last days, the veil is more thin now. We see a lot of things going on than before since Jesus is coming soon. So we're going to see a lot of demonic and crazy things that we've never seen before.
Right, yeah, and that's what we see now. We see where the homes is now. You see where you have what they call quote unquote gender war. See, that kind of stuff we wouldn't even talk about on the show, but you see where the opposite sex against each other now. You see where they arguing about 50-50. They're arguing about guys complaining about women and all this other stuff. I mean, it's going on, but like I said, we never really seen this stuff. But now it's
Right.
like you say, it's the veil is thin, and we're seeing a lot of weird stuff now.
Yeah, for real.
Like, but I know at the end of the day, I know what the scripture says. You know, he tells about these
Yep.
perilous times. But I also know Jesus said that we're the light of the world. We are the light of the world, and it's
Right.
the. And I know. Go ahead.
He said that the good will be called bad and the bad will be called good, and we're seeing that right before our eyes. Like, if you preach about Jesus, if you talk the truth, if you spit anything that goes contrary to the agenda on this world, you'll be labeled like
Yeah,
crazy, or
being a hater.
anti-gay, anti-men, anti-women, anti-anything. So
Yeah,
yeah, we're living this thing out.
yeah. You've been labeled as. We in this time now where everything is so sensitive. Was it that Me
Yes.
Too movement? You be canceled. Just like on these shows that we do, it's like if we say something, we get flagged on it. But
Yep.
because it's not this, it's individuals out there. When you speak truth, like you said, that's when people, what the word to say, they get mad, they call us getting offended, and that's when they want to lash out because you're
Uh,
speaking the truth. And we know
yeah,
that
we see that every day, even in the music industry, or these people in Hollywood, where they speak out and they see what they've seen, and they go against the agenda. They will be flagged or they will be killed. Let's be real.
yeah, they're right about that. Because you look at the whole Diddy situation. You seen it
Yeah,
earlier this part this year. With how that came about. You had everybody coming out of the woodwork on the Diddy situation, saying, "Oh, he been doing these things," and they putting out stuff, throwing out stuff, and it's like y'all know if he was doing these things, but now when he got caught up with Cassidy's situation, now everybody want to
now
come out and
everybody
say
want to speak up. Everybody want a lawsuit. Everybody want to talk. But have they done anything? Has P. Diddy gone to jail? Let's be
no,
real.
he hasn't.
He
He
has too
hasn't.
much information on too many people.
You're right. You're right about that
He
though.
gonna keep. It's like Epstein. They made
Mm.
it out to seem like he was gonna get do time, and they covering up. I don't believe he's dead, to be honest. They
Okay.
just have him somewhere else. Make it seem like he was dead. Like in the world, they make people believe that people are overdosing or dying, and no, they're getting killed for speaking up.
Yeah, that's true. Because we know they say he supposed to have killed himself, committed
Yeah,
suicide. But I believe that a man of his stature, of course, he had information because they believe that he was going to talk and say because he
yeah,
had
he had people in the government. He was tied
so
to a lot of high people. So yeah,
so that lets you know, Nancy, that the type of world we in now. Like if what I mean, Jesus said it best. What profits a man to gain the whole world and yet lose his soul?
and lose his soul.
And we know that when
Yep.
these people are in these positions, they have to make these what quote unquote sacrifices. They have to give up things in order to get prestige and stuff. Man, have the Illuminati ever reach out to you? Because they've been reaching out to me every now and then.
No.
Yeah, cause people. Yeah, I'm serious. Like people inbox me sometime on Facebook about the Illuminati and say, "Yeah, we
For
give
real.
you, yeah, like we give you all this power and you get all this wealth." And I don't know respond. I don't know respond to it. But if anybody be getting that stuff from people, let me know. Now on Instagram too, somebody will inbox me and say about the whole Illuminati. That's why I asked you, have anybody reached you about that Illuminati?
No, that's crazy.
Yeah, that said it like we all go off. We can offer all this power and you get all this wealth and but what's the price with that? There's a price with that.
Yeah, you gain the whole world, but you lose your soul. Look at Judas.
Yeah,
What did he gain out of selling out to Jesus? I mean, 3 denarius, but he lost his soul.
yeah. And he wanted to give the money back and he didn't want to take it back.
Yeah.
And then what he did, he killed himself
Yep.
because he would trade innocent blood. But I
Amen.
you know what, Nancy, I thought about that the other day. And I thought about even though when Jesus knew what Judas was gonna betray him, he knew that. But how
He was
Jesus
part of the plan.
responds, yeah, and how he responded to it. He didn't retaliate against Judas. It's that the love. You know,
Yep.
we all had Judases, and just how we react to these Judases in our life, that we can still walk in love, that we can still walk in forgiveness, because it's gonna do
Yeah.
something to them.
Yeah. God said, love your enemies.
And look what it did to Judas. Judas killed himself.
He couldn't live with the fact that he betrayed him.
And that lets you know that happened to people today.
Yep.
That innocent people get betrayed, and the person that did it torments them. This person that will not retaliate against me. This person still shows me love. This person forgive me. What's really going on? So it had to be with them mentally. Like it got to be something. But no, it ain't none. It's just you know who you are. At the end of the day, you know who you are. So why do I need to retaliate against you when I know who I am? What you want to say about that, Nancy?
Amen. I said, when we were in the world, we wanted to retaliate. We wanted to get people back for what they do to us, But when you realize that, you don't have to do that because God fights your battles. And at the end of the day, they're going to be held accountable before God. And, vengeance is the Lord's, he says. You know,
Right.
God can fight anything better than you can. So you just got to stay still, trust God, and just let it go.
You have to, because we know that's what the world do. The world retaliate. Remember, that's when Jesus said, "My kingdom is not of this world." You know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
he knew that where he came from. He said, "My kingdom is not of this world." And even the Bible tells us that we in the world,
Hmm.
but we not of the
But not
world.
of it. And also, our battle is not against flesh and blood. Sometimes it's not even the person, it's the demons behind those people that are doing things to you.
Right.
Sometimes we got to be tested and tried. And some of those tests is how you answer back or how you react to the situation. And if you pass, God has your back. He's going to fight for you. He's going to make sure that whatever is coming against you, he'll fight those things off.
That's true. And we know now too, Nancy, we hear about transparency. A lot of things are being addressed now. Things are coming to the forefront. And before you came back on the show, we used to have conversations on that, especially when it came to our upbringing. We will no, we talk about these now with these more open. Like these want to talk about with addressing your sexuality. Things
Yeah,
like that was never talked about in the home.
right.
But now these things are being spoke about. Um, what you want to say about that too? We're having these transparent conversations now to bring forth healing, deliverance. So these things that we never talked
Right.
about growing up.
Yeah, I think it was taboo or, secrets that, people didn't want to share, in order to cover up, the people that they had done wrong by. So, but now, things are being more open and that way we can grow from our experiences. But also, I feel like we've gone through things to help others come out of the situation.
And yeah, and that too, and that people don't feel judged, the judgmental attitude. Um,
Right. Like they can identify with you because you've been through that same situation.
right. Yeah, and that's what people come in at, and I hear a lot of people have these transparency moments, and especially when it comes to relationships, too, Nancy. But I think when it comes to the man woman counterpart, we never had these conversations. Childhood trauma, that started to come up
Hmm.
now. People where you've been a male, female, you may there was some type of trauma growing up, and we know that these things
Right.
affect our relationships to other people as well, Nancy. Because these things we never really talked about. And then I had people on the show that said, yeah, before we got together, me and my significant other, we had uncomfortable conversations. We laid everything out on the table. And they was accepted to that because they wanted to know what they was getting themselves into.
Yeah.
And I respect the couple that was on here. Big shout out to the couple that was on here probably some years back. And they said they talked about everything before coming together.
That's good because a lot of times we don't even know who we're with until years go by and then we realize, oh, who did I really get with? Like you didn't have those conversations. You were not transparent. You did not discuss, your traumas, what you've been through, your situations, because, sometimes people don't open up or tell them their truths.
Right. And being
And
afraid.
that, and yeah, and that affects, the relationship. later on in the line.
Right. And I know when it comes with people being afraid of saying, okay, if I tell this person, okay, I love this person, I want to be with this person, and then they already judging themselves and they judging the other person even before they open their mouth. Okay, if I tell this individual what I've been through or what I struggle with, they're not gonna want me no
Hmm.
more. So now you're passing judgment, and then you don't know how the outcome gonna be if you lay it out on the table, and if this person really, really respects you and really loves you and really open to what you've been through, then they will be there. But see, that's the thing too. They're already passing judgment already before they open their mouth because
Yeah,
they're
right.
afraid.
So
Well, if I
sometimes that's why they don't say it, because you don't want to get judged, or from your past.
right, can you remember the show we did back in 2010, Beauty and the Beast? Remember that show that we did back in
Yeah.
2010, where we had people from different backgrounds, like backgrounds, where it was the ex porn star, it was the ex homosexual, uh,
Hmm.
different walks of people who came from these different walks of life. But look how it made an impact on other people. Because like, wow, I'm glad y'all talking about these things, but these are things that I struggle with, and it's like,
Right.
okay, I want to talk about these things, but I don't know where to go. But I'm glad y'all are talking about these things because that shows me that I'm not alone. It shows me that hey, if these individuals
If they can
who
change, I can change too.
and that's what we want to show people that you can and you're not alone. And that's what it is. People
Yeah.
feel like, man, see, that what the enemy plays a mind on them that they're alone. And he
Right.
plays on, oh, if you tell them that, they're gonna look at you funny, or if you tell them that they're not gonna deal with you no more, or if you tell them that
Hmm.
they'll keep a distance from you,
Yeah, the devil likes to play mind games.
and that plays on people's mind. But
Hmm.
but we know what scripture says, we overcome by the power of our testimony. And
Yes.
we know that Satan is the accuser. Of course, we know that. He been doing that for a
Hmm.
very long time. He tried to do the same thing with Job when he came and said when he told God about Job, when Job, oh, really why he's only worshiping you because the things that she gave you. But I'll make him curse you and die. And Job never cursed God at all.
Nope, at all.
And that's how he come.
Even when
Oh,
his wife wanted him to turn against God, and he said, "No, I'm not going to."
yeah. But that's how he operate. He will lose
Yeah.
he will use the closest thing to you
He will
to
use the closest people to you to try to get you to, stop what you're doing or stop saying believing in God. So this is where, you're tested.
yeah.
And when
And
you pass the test, you saw as Job, everything that Satan took away from him, God gave him double for his trouble.
it is. And then the thing that Joe went through, you know, he said, yeah, he stayed, yet I trust him. Job lost everything. He lost his children, he lost everything. And before everybody read the story of Job, the average person would get on the phone, the average person would get on social media to talk about all the things they're dealing with. But the Bible said that Job worshiped in the midst of
Yes.
his trials, in the midst of his tribulation, Nancy, he worshiped. Because think about it, the average person, what they gonna do? They gonna cry out, they gonna lash out, they gonna get on the telephone, they gonna get on social media. But Job worshiped,
Amen.
but he never cursed
He
God.
knew who his source was.
Yeah, exactly. Because Satan would say, "Oh, he's only worshiping you because the things you bless him with." That's if he really
Hmm.
does love you, and just take everything from him and see how he really gonna be. But like you said, God knew Job. He knew Job's heart, and he knew Job was who he was. And even Job's friends came to him and said, "Oh, you must did this, you must did that, why he cause all this stuff on you." But Job
Right.
still hung in there. And like you said, God gave him a
That's what
hundredfold of everything that he lost.
that's what we got to do. Even when it gets tough, we got to keep it going.
Right. And we know that what people do is like, man, wow, you staying consistent. I see how like I said, I tell people who's on this show, well, it was just me and you. Well, we doing this show back then. We was doing it like 10 o'clock my time, 11 o'clock your time, and we were talking to
Yeah.
ourselves. You know what I'm saying? But we kept it going. But we kept it going. But and then
Yeah.
people will see that like, wow, you're being consistent, and wow, this going on, and wow, this is inspiring me. Wow, this is encouraging me, because you always got to stay consistent. No matter how low, you may not get one like, you may not get one share, but but if someone's out there watching, and someone will eventually see what you're doing. And once again, you're the light. So you just keep being that light. You keep utilizing that. You keep being a person that God called you to be. You know, everybody has a plan. Jeremiah 29:11 lets us know that I know the thoughts that I think towards
And
you.
the plans I have towards you.
They are good and not of evil, bring you to your expected end. So that's the most important thing, that he knows what he thought about you.
Hmm.
And,
Who cares what everybody thinks? Everybody else thinks about you. It's what God thinks about you.
right, that's it. Because remember they laughed at Noah? Remember Noah was building the ark and they mocked
Yeah,
Noah?
everybody but laughing. We
Yeah.
haven't seen rain in years, and you're building an ark. He's like, it's
So,
gonna rain.
you know what, Nance, I'm glad that came up too. God always puts in your spirit to start preparing. And he keeps
Yep.
saying that, no, start preparing. And people don't understand that when he speaks to you, like, prepare, just start preparing. Whatever it is, start preparing yourself. He knew that flood was coming. So he was preparing Noah. Okay, I need you to start building this ark, because I'm about to I'm about to wipe this place clean, because it's full of evil and
Yes.
wickedness. So I want you to start, since you are the only one that's righteous within your generation, I'm going to spare you and your family. So what I need you to start doing is start building this ark. And he did. And like I said, people laughed at him. Oh, it ain't rained in years, and you building this ark. But he kept on building it. And eventually, when it came,
Obedience.
and eventually when it came, the main ones that wanted to try to get on couldn't get on.
Right.
So you always gotta be prepared when he tells you to be prepared. Like
Yes.
look at David. You know, nobody didn't know David was gonna be king. You know, when the prophet said, was the prophet Samuel came to Jesse, David's father, and just presented his other sons, but no, he wanted David. David was
Hmm.
already handpicked by God to be king of Israel. You
Yep.
know, this young man out there in the field fighting, protecting the sheep, put his
Tending
own
to the
life on the
sheep.
line. Yeah, putting his own life on the line against lions and wolves and stuff. Bears and stuff, bears and everything.
Yeah.
But that's who God wanted, and and that's what it is. Everybody been like David, Nancy, the ones who've been selected by God. Overlooked. Oh, he look at him. But God knew who he was. God knew he wanted David,
Amen.
and how he raised David up to be king, to be next in line. The people wanted Saul. You know what I'm saying? Remember, the children of Israel was crying out, we don't have this, we don't have that. And God was preparing David, but the people, well, we want this, we want this. They wanted the tallest, because they say Saul was good looking. So they were, oh, we want this, but God never handpicked Saul. He handpicked
Yeah.
David.
David.
So it's like he told Sam, you know what? Get them what they want. Gave them Saul. What happened to Saul? Saul was disobedient. When God told Saul to destroy everything, he spared things when God told him to destroy everything.
Yeah.
But Nancy, that's what they wanted. The people wanted Saul. God didn't choose Saul. The people did. They let you know, do people know exactly what they want? God gives what we
They
need.
don't.
Can you ever look at those scriptures? Go ahead, Nancy. You want to say? Go ahead.
I'll go say because that reminded me of when Jesus was before, and they wanted Barnabas instead of Jesus to let Barnabas go instead of Jesus, and they didn't know what they wanted. He was a criminal, but that was part of the plan. Jesus had to be arrested, and he had to go through everything for us. So, but yeah, you're right. People don't know what they want. They usually
Yeah,
want the bad stuff.
yeah, the glitz and glamour. You know that the old saying, the grass
Hmm.
ain't green on the other side, but that's who they wanted. But okay, but God spared them. But we know David went through his thing, but that's who he chose. When Jesus went through what he went through, no, the Garden of Gethsemane, he sweated blood. Just think about it. The beating he had to go through, the ridicule he had to go through, but he said, "Let this cup pass from me." But the spirit within said, "Not my will, let thy will be done." We know that Jesus had to come the ultimate sacrifice for us. He was the only spotless lamb in the world. In order just think about that, Nancy, for him to take on our sins, something he didn't have
That's
to go
that's.
through.
I can't even imagine what he went through.
And he got beat so bad, I think Isaiah talks about it. He got beat so bad that he didn't people didn't even recognize him.
Yeah.
Just for us, like I think what Andy Medio said in one of the songs, so you hear the story when the hero died for the villain.
Hmm.
The hero laid down his life for us when we were sinners and laid down his life for which he didn't have to do that. But he did in order to destroy Satan's kingdom.
Yeah, and through him we have the victory.
And that's what people and then we how soon we forget Nancy, when Paul told us don't even give place to the devil. We got power, we got the authority, he gave us dominion.
Yes,
He
he
said,
did.
I give you power to tread upon the serpents and scorpions. We read about it, but then we soon we forget about it. We allow our circumstances. We allow things come in. We get more power to the thing control. We already told he things he spoke upon us. I give you power to tread upon the serpents and the scorpions.
That's right. Sometimes we don't really understand the schemes of the enemy, so we get tricked, like Eve. Like he flipped it. She already had the victory. She had dominion. She had authority. She had a relationship with God, and he like flipped it around and made it seem like she didn't. Like, and that's where we don't understand the schemes of the enemy, and we need to study those schemes so we won't fall to the enemy's the tricks.
You know what? You just brought up some. We know that we need this. You just said something on point this morning. Study the schemes. Because what he did was he perverted
He lied.
what God said. Because he made it seem like God was holding out
Did it
on them.
right when he had already given them all the knowledge and all the wisdom and all the power and all the authority against the enemy.
Right. Yeah, he just said y'all can have all the trees and stuff except this one particular tree of knowledge of good and evil. Cause then that's when Satan came and made it seem like, oh, God is holding out on you. And that's what people realize. Like, God is not holding out on us. He's a parent.
He is protecting us.
That's it. I heard this too, Nance. I heard this on the podcast, and this was powerful too. It says, rejection is God's protection.
Yep.
If it was a no, it's God protection. But God protect you from that. And people don't understand why I got God's rejection is God's protection. I heard somebody say it on the show. I think that was so powerful. I ain't never heard that in years. When someone
Hmm.
says rejection is God's protection.
I mean, look, as a parent, we want the best for our children. We don't want them to fall into things that are going to hurt them, or when we know right from wrong, we know we've been there, so we know what they need and what they don't need. So that's
Right.
God. God protects us from things, and He's trying to stop you from things, and that's His way of helping us.
True. That's true. And it
But
is.
the enemy always wants to make it seem like God's the bad guy when really He's the bad guy.
Oh yeah, most definitely. He really is. And you know what? Before we go any further, we'll take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with our topic of the discussion.
Yeah. Monday through Saturday, I open my Bible. Bible showed me how to walk in the spirit. Spirit of God, hell with decision. Shit that leads me straight to the prison. Fruit of the spirit, the air when we water. Plant won't grow with diamond water. Sunday sprinkles just not on the water. Words of Christ is water my soul. It fills my bowl, it overflow. To these souls that dry and cold. So lost without you, don't know where to go. Here I am, available, so renew my mind. Take out the time, study alone. Put down the phone. No distraction, no drama, no problem. All these things are giving the ball. I'm walking the spirit. Just the flesh is not my thing. Obey what I say to do. Not just some Sunday man. I walk in the spirit. I talk in the spirit. I live in the spirit. I move in the spirit. Yeah, I'm walking the spirit. Just the flesh is not my thing. Obey what I say to do. Not just some Sunday man. I walk in the spirit. I talk in the spirit. I live in the spirit. I move in the spirit. Yeah. Early mornings will do hit the ground. Thinking your face, you show me around. Show me the place in the spiritual world. Placing more precious than diamonds and pearl. Value one more than the silver and gold. I follow your spirit wherever you go. I can't go a day without seeking you. Directions, all that's that come from you. You order my steps, green light my way. I know it's okay to do it that way. Peace about it, I know it's okay to do it your way. It's always safe. Fruit of the spirit will grow on my tree. Can't walk in flesh and curse my tree. Living goodness, meek and tender. Kindness that will come from me. I'm walking the spirit. Just the flesh is not my thing. Obey what I say to do. Not just some Sunday man. I walk in the spirit. I talk in the spirit. I live in the spirit. I move in the spirit. Daily I'm walking the spirit. Just the flesh is not my thing. Obey what I say to do. Not just some Sunday man. I walk in the spirit. I talk in the spirit. I live in the spirit. I move in the spirit. Yeah.
Hey, what's up, man? We're back here on the Walking This Way's Impact Was podcast. Big shout out to King David out of my hometown of Mobile, Alabama. The name of his song, Walk in the Spirit. He has a new album coming out soon, so big shout out to him out of my hometown of Mobile, Alabama. And I'm back here with my lovely sister out of Miami, Florida. Nancy, for those who know, me and Nancy do a show called Fight Club. That was back in the mid 2000s, of course. And we, reached out to her and schedule permit for her to come back on the show, of course. So I appreciate her for being on here. Also, Nancy, I know you do a lot of work. You are a fashion designer, of course. I know when I first met you, you started your own clothing line, your own brand. So how has that been going? Are you still doing fashion design? Are you still doing clothing? What's been going on?
Yeah, I'm still designing. I'm trying to rebrand and just continue the company and getting that all situated and built back up.
Man, that's what's up right there. Now we had a great time on the show. I don't know what happened to our guests this morning, but things happened, of course. Cool.
Yeah.
But like I said, we're very excited to be with y'all this morning. And what was said this morning, man, I hope it really lighten your day up, spark your day up, and you really got something out of it. No matter what, you know who you are. The main thing is know your identity, know who you are, and once you know who you are, know
Mhm.
your identity, even the gates of hell will not prevail against you. You know, we told what you told Peter, names upon this rock I shall build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. So once you know who you are,
Yeah.
you know who you are in Him. The gates of hell will not prevail against you at all. But pretty much that really sums it up. So, Nancy, how can everybody, follow you? I know you're on social media. I know you're getting back into the fold of ministering, teaching, and all the other
Yeah.
good stuff. So, how can the audience who's watching us, we live stream, but we also watch the replay? How can they, follow with you and all of the good stuff?
They can follow me on Facebook. I'm on Nancy Cabrera on Facebook and on TikTok. Same thing. All platforms.
Man, awesome stuff. And I said, man, we really want to bring y'all back with some lot of stuff. They're really coming to the show, really bringing forth some sound doctrine, some biblical truth, thing that's going to help you and elevate you. That you apply to your life. Even the scripture tells us, be doers of the word, not hearers only. So we know that God Himself gives us great information, but we have to apply the information that He gives us to our lives. You have to apply it, ladies and gentlemen. I have to apply it. Nancy, you have to apply it. But we have to apply this information in order for us to see it. But I know we're about to get ready to get out
Right.
this thing. Nancy, have anything you want to share to all those we ready to depart? And I know we'll be back here Tuesday night at 7 p.m.
I mean, if you don't know your identity, you don't know why you're here, you're struggling, going through troubles, you don't understand why you're going through so many tribulations. There's a plan for you. God is trying to open your eyes, trying to get your attention. He does it in many forms and many fashions. Sometimes we got to hit a hard brick wall to look up, and he's calling you to serve him and know your identity and know your power in him, because he's the one that gives us the power to overcome the enemy in our lives, whether it be depression, whether it be suicide, whether it be um, divorce, whether it be drugs, alcohol, homelessness, you name it, we can overcome it through Jesus Christ. That is
Man,
our source. That is our strong tower. That is the person who will give you the arms and the weapons to fight against everything that you're facing in your life. And if you receive him and you accept him into your life and confess him as your Lord and your Savior, he will come and help you and give you the arms and the weapons.
hey, and that's it, man. Y'all be equipped. Get in your word. Get back in your word. Study should I self approve. And that's what it's all about. He's still speaking to you. That's a good thing. He's still speaking to you. He's speaking to all of us. So he says, turn from my wicked ways, right? And he shall heal,
Right.
humble myself, turn from my wicked ways, shall heal our land. And we have so much wickedness that we've been holding on to, so much wickedness that took the place of him as he's supposed to sit on the throne of our hearts. You know what I'm saying? So
Amen.
let's forsake.
Sometimes we don't even know that we're in the dark. Sometimes we don't even know that we need Jesus. We think, living this life and doing our own thing. We've been so accustomed to our own ways that we don't realize we need God's ways.
You're right.
So that's why, we need him.
You're right. You're absolutely right. So I'm honored and it's a privilege to be back with you here on the show as well. And I like, ladies and gentlemen, not going to hold y'all up. We don't enjoy your Saturday, enjoy your day, get your rest in, seek his face, all of the great stuff. Let him work on you. That's another thing too, Nancy. People don't understand. We have to work on ourselves each and every moment. That he
Amen.
tell us to work out our own soul salvation with fear and trembling. You got to work this thing out on a regular basis. That's what a lot of people think, Nancy. They think, okay, I said it, I'm good, but now you have to apply
Hmm.
the word. You have to apply the word. You have to feed yourself with the word now. You have to meditate on the word now. You have to clean
Yeah,
all that mess.
don't look in the mirror and deceive yourself and just go back to, what you're doing. Like, you have to apply the word. You have to live it out. You can't just hear it and just, keep going with your, usual and do your own thing. No, you've got to let God be God in your life. Let him reign in your life. Let him be Lord of your life. so that he can, come in and clean house.
Makes sense. That sums it up right there. So let them come in and clean house. But ladies and gentlemen, we out this thing. Y'all have a great Saturday. Back here Tuesday night, prime time, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. And if you're on the West Coast, 5 p.m. So, man, y'all tune in. If you're on the YouTube side, like, share, comment, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're up at 765 subscribers now. So let's get these numbers up. Main thing on the show, we want to make sure we're bringing great content. Let me tell you, I'm just going to toot our own horn. We was doing it way before people doing podcasts weren't even popular. I'm just going to put it out there. We was doing this way before podcasting was even popular with the talk show. We was originator doing this, of course. And everybody said, man, y'all pioneers with this thing. Because we were doing it way before people started even thinking about doing podcasts. Even before podcasts existed, we was doing this. But when we was doing it, it was ministry. It was deliverance. It was healing. But most important, we all about the kingdom. And that's what we have to get back to, right, Nancy? Getting back to the message of the kingdom. Studying the kingdom. Operating the kingdom. And also bringing the message of the kingdom, because the name of the show is called what? Walk in his ways. Walk in his ways. Instruct us to what? Walk in his ways.
Walk in his ways.
And that's what we have to do. They go for me, and they go for you, Nancy. They go for all of us. But you will have more of this show. We're gonna be doing more of this thing, so I'm looking forward to it. Was it Spread the Kingdom? Like what Ken Jones said on one of his songs, the kingdom of heaven gonna spread like a virus. Like Ken Jones said on one of his songs and stuff like that. So man, we out this thing, man. Peace, everybody.
Peace.